side which beat the Saints at Wembley in '87. He's a wily Aussie campaigner as the teams come out now to the applause of the crowd around this impressive stadium. He'll have his side all fired up for this evening's game. He named his side earlier in the week, did Chris Anderson. Ellery Hanley, he keeps his cards close to his chest as usual. The side, obviously, flu epidemic round these parts, and with some close season injuries that hadn't healed up, his side wasn't named till just before kick-off. Chris Anderson has all the respect for Ellery Hanley, as I'm sure Ellery Hanley has all the respect for Chris Anderson. Ellery is a competitor, a winner, he's focused, he's got the winning attitude, he's very intense, and that'll make for a good game, won't it? Tonight's referee is Stuart Cummins of Widnes.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be standing for the national anthem?
So both national anthems to be played. True big match tradition, both anthems being sung live, and what a performance, the pre-match entertainment with the James Bond theme. Brilliantly executed. The Saints side for this evening: Paul Aitchison at fullback, Chris Smith, Kerry Binairo, Paul Newlove and Sean Hoppy, the three quarters, Tommy Martin and Sean Long, the half-back pairing, Julian O'Neill, Paul Wellens, Sonny Nicol in the front row, Chris Joynt, Brian Hanare, Paul Sculthorpe the back three, Apollo Pedalini, Tony Stewart, Ferretti Tuilangi and John Stankovic on the bench. For the Melbourne Storm, Robbie Ross at fullback, Brad Watts, Aaron Moole, Tony Martin, Marcus Bye the three quarters, Scott Hill and Brett Kimall in the half-back pairing, Wayne Evans, Richard Swain, Robbie Kearns the captain in the front row, Paul Marquette, Stephen Kearney, Matt Ruher the back three, with Daniel Williams, Russell Bowden, Tassisa Lavia and Dane Morgan on the bench. Away we go for this World Club Championship match, sponsored by Kellogg's, here at the JJB Stadium and brought to you live by Micron Video. First touch for the Storm. Opening clashes are going to be solid. Both sides full of respect for each other, and a big kicking game. Kimali puts the ball downfield. Aitchison takes it well. Tony Martin comes in for him. Aitchison takes the ball up. Marcus Bye in with a shoulder charge. Chris Smith. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Short ball from Sean Long there. Good solid tackling from the Storm early on. Your match official, Stuart Cummins from Widnes. Solid tackling by the Storm, good driving run by the Saints. Last one of the sequence, Sean Long puts it back to Tommy Martin. Drives it for the corner, but it's well taken there, Brad Watts. And the Saints cover defence moving quickly. Tremendous atmosphere, even though the stadium isn't full, both ends quite full. And just in front of us here, not too bad, but a little sparse on the far side. But quite a decent crowd, obviously, for the game. Played at the JJB with the undersoil heating, just in case of frosty weather. Obviously, he couldn't guarantee it, and the game had to be played. Kim Hawley again puts it through. The big chase on, but it's going to run dead. Yes, Saints, let it run dead. Just a little bit too much beef on it by Kim Hawley. But it's going to be a contest, isn't it? Throughout the side, obviously, Kim Hawley and Long. Just two. As the Storm move up, it's Tyro, give it inside to Chris Smith. Out of one, slips it to Long. Saints moving to the left. Sean Long looking for the gap. Touch on now. Now it's with Sean Hoppy. Operating on the wing. We know he's a New Zealand Test three-quarter player. Many caps under his belt for the New Zealand Test team. As Kevin Iro. Saints move it upfield to the halfway line. Storm move back quickly. Saints bring it to the right. Sean Long with a little take now to the game, but it's all on. Nickel hacks it through. The Saints are running it. Nickel with a good tackle there. Well, Long was taken off the ball, but the referee allowed play to go on. It was hacked on. Now it's with Tony Martin, and it's up to the Saints to contain the Storm there in their own 10 or 20 metre area. They'll try to get out of there by pressure, and you can bet Kim Hawley will kick early in the tackle, but a good driving run as the Storm drive it up. Well, the referee in, holding the man down. Paul Newell, the man guilty of the alleged infringement. So the Storm find touch just inside the Saints half. They move it to the left, taking it up now, centre field. Solid tackling by the Saints. Paul Wellens quickly in there, obviously deputising for Kieran Cunningham. Oh, it's a big hit there on Matt Ruhr, but he gets it away to Kim Hawley, and Kim Hawley up to the Saints 20. The Storm within striking distance now. They move it quickly. Paul Marquette in possession. Richard Swain at dummy half in the hooking position. He moves it to the right. Kim Hawley again. Offers the ball. Overlap there. Oh, the Storm are in. Aaron Moole in for the first try after 4.5 minutes. The Storm there moving the ball. They got a penalty award for allegedly the Saints lying on. They brought it upfield, and an overlap there on the far right. You can see the Saints were stretched 2-1, and Moole in for the try. So Brad Watts now looking to add the extras on. But excellent play by the ARL champions, the Melbourne Storm. Good set of six there after they've been awarded a penalty. Dragged the Saints over here to the left, transferred it over to the right, and with an overlap, Moole dove in at short range. Watts with the conversion. Waved away by the touch judges. 4 points to 0. The Storm lead. A compromise made on the subs tonight. We can have 8 substitutions from the 4 named players. So it's Tommy Martin that'll restart, puts it high. Storm a little worried about supposedly ill discipline of the Saints team, and pretty rich that coming from the Aussies, isn't it? Saints probably the cleanest team in the Super League competition. Good driving run there by the Storm. They take the ball up. Once again, Kimali running the operations there. The Storm keep it going, back to Kimali again. He chips it for the corner. Sean Hoppy gathers it, sits up nicely for him. The Kiwi takes the tackle. Little bit of mauling at the play of the ball. Oh dear me, now that looked a bit high. And the referee now coming in. Mr. Cummins, and giving Saints a penalty for clamping the man, not allowing him to play the ball. So Saints make good yardage. Paul Wellens puts it to Julian O'Neill. And Saints now, let's see if they can put this set of 6 to good use. Sonny Nickel coming through at pace. Short pass from Martin. Martin in, obviously trouble in the mill with Tommy Martin, and new signing Daddle Trindle. Not playing tonight, Trindle. Sustained a shoulder injury, hasn't played since he signed for the Saints. Brian Henare backing into the defence. Another big Kiwi. Iro chips it through. Marcus Bai, can he gather it? Iro, does he take it off him? Oh, he's looking to remove the ball from him. 1-1. Quick play the ball. Tony Martin, the former London Bronco, along with Russell Bowden. And he's come on from strength to strength, hasn't he, Tony Martin? The Storm, they lead by 4 points to 0. Captain for tonight, as we said before, Robbie Kearns. Obviously Lazarus was the captain, he's retired, and Tawera Nicow that wore the 13 shirt last season, he's now with Warrington. And both Kearns and Scott Hill, have missed a lot of last season through injury. Aitchison plays it quickly. Once again, Saints drive it up, and oh, there's some solid tackling there, isn't there? There'll be nothing given away tonight. Brian Henare, 10 metres inside the Storm half. Approaching 10 minutes gone on the clock. Long working the interpassing movement. Chris Joint up the middle. Oh, just taken the super tackle by Moole, the try scorer, and then he forces him down. A second bite of the cherry on the 6th tackle. The referee lets it go on. A reverse angle kick over to Marcus Bai for the Storm, and this man, a Papua New Guinea test player, he can move, can't he? Once again, the Storm move it over to the right, or bring it back inside. Super play by the Storm as they move it. Well, wasn't on his feet when he played the ball. It goes to Robbie Ross. Once again, Melbourne move it this door. Obstruction there. Goes to Tony Martin. He's going for the corner. Feeds it inside. And dear me, that was an offside, and in my impartial opinion, a forward pass as well, the last one, to Wayne Evans. But the Storm in for another try after 10 minutes. They played well, they backed up well, there's no danger about that, but there must be questions asked over two of the movements there. Definitely a blatant crossing movement here, and then Martin going for the corner. He had the support, there was no danger about that. You couldn't fault that. The Saints were lacking. They didn't cover excuse me, they didn't cover the danger, and Evans in for the try. So 8 points to 0. The Saints down. And that's a blow to the build-up. Obviously both sides in need of match practice, but certainly lacking there. Chance for Watts to make it 10. Probably the preferred side for him. Oh, that's good this time, no problem. Right between the uprights. 10 points to 0, the Storm lead after 12 minutes play. The points are on the board. Obviously we can run the slide rule over it after. Substitution there, Tony Stewart on, and it looks as though it's Tommy Martin, I think, that's been replaced. No, it's not Tommy Martin. He's out there in the middle. Just couldn't catch sight of who'd been replaced. The PA man will tell me. So the Beast replaced. Chris Smith pulls the ball in. Tony Martin comes for him, brings him down a couple of metres short. Aitchison at dummy half. Now with Stewart in for his first touch. And a big hit there. Took him man and ball, dumped him to the ground. Matt Ruhr. Great driving tackle. Saints Crewe with points on the board. And the big man over there on the far side trying to drive it through. New Love. Saints are spreading it. Sonny Nicol takes the tackle. Sculthorpe with a kick downfield. Bounces inside. Robbie Ross should gather it. He does. The reception committee come, but Ross breaks down the short side, feeds it inside to Marcus Barr. He knocked on. Great work there by Robbie Ross, and the Saints nearly paid the price. An infringement at the play of the ball. The try scorer, the second try scorer, Wayne Evans, going to be spoken to. Referee Cummins just telling him what he wants, and he's telling him now, don't walk away when I'm talking to you. We get plenty talk about whinging Poms, and we've got a few whinging Aussies tonight, haven't we? But it's all friendly rivalry. Big driving run. Julian O'Neill taking the ball up. Tommy Martin, short ball to Sonny Nicol. 10-0 the Storm lead. 15 minutes have been played. Wellens at dummy half. Sean Long looking to open the gap in the Storm defence, which has looked pretty watertight tonight. Brian Henare looks as though he has all the makings of a good forward. The kick through. Well, Wellens attempted to kick it through. Mustn't have got boot to ball before the tackle was effected. Scrum down. For scrum that, I think. I can't recollect us having a scrum before. 15 minutes. Kim Hawley to feed. Robbie Ross linking up in the back line, and his counterpart Aitchison takes him. Very lively competitor Ross there. Played well before, just when he come up this short side. But the Storm certainly look up for it. The Saints just need to get the composure. 2 tries and a conversion. They trail 10 points to 0. And big hit there, and the Saints have got to get up there and meet them, haven't they? The World Club Championship. Martin, well, the ball adjudged forward. On that occasion, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't look all that bad from our angle, but referee Cummins picked it. And somebody said something out of turn, and the captain, and I think it's Wayne Evans again, and he's just spoken to Wayne Evans, and he's probably just telling him if he doesn't shape himself. Tuilangi being brought on, Brian Hanari going off. The Saints have the possession, they're 30 metres out. They need points on the board, but they've got to get past the Storm. Martin, good ball there, over on the far side, joint. Once again, Tuilangi, is he the man that can open this defence? He certainly created havoc in the Halifax defence in the friendly last week. Sean Long slips the ball out. Saints keep it alive, and they've got to keep it moving. Big Julian O'Neill. 20 metres out. Saints move it left. Chris Joint. Inside ball. Super Saints now to, oh dear me, a high tackle on Tuilangi. Saints keep the ball alive. Inside ball to Aitchison. Keeps it alive to Tony Stewart. The referee's going to give the penalty now for the high tackle. If Saints had scored it, he'll let it go. But Saints now with a chance of 2 points if they wish, or if they want to tap it with a set of 6, they're going to go for goal. Sean Long says, I'll go for goal, Mr. Cummins. Thank you very much. But Tuilangi was coming through there at pace, nearly decapitated. They kept the ball alive. It went through quite a few pair of hands. Finally going to ground with Tony Stewart, and then the referee awarded the penalty, and Sean Long will take the 2. Approaching the 19th minute. Right in front of the sticks. Saints on the board. Saints 2, Melbourne 10. The Storm making a substitution. Dane Morgan in 18 coming on. But Long with the penalty puts Saints on the board. Early days yet. I mean, you've got to do what the captain says or what the coach says. I'd have been tempted to give him another bash there at 10 metres out and have another set of 6. Eleven substituted, he's been spoken to twice. Maybe obviously tactical substitution by coach Chris Anderson to let him just cool his heels. He'll be brought back on. The Aussies are used to multiple interchanges, but obviously the happy medium has been agreed to tonight. In the English game, we have 6 substitutions from the 4 players, or maximum of 6 substitutions, not counting blood bin. As Tommy Martin puts one downfield, looking for the 40-20. Borden on for Kearney. Storm with the penalty. Another former London Bronco, Russ Borden. Storm beating St George. They came late to beat St George with a late penalty try. And obviously we know Saints beat the Bradford Bulls 8 points to 6. But the Storm break through again. Saints tackling will have to be tightened up. We know the Saints defence can be tightened up as the Storm bring it on the blind side. Tony Martin, oh, that was a good tackle there. Tony Stewart, try saving tackle, but the Storm again try to stretch the Saints. Kim Hawley, oh, good try there. It's going to be, no, it's not. The ball's loose. Saints should have it. It's going to be a knock forward anyway by a Storm player. But my word, they're just on Russ Bowden, trying to keep the ball alive, tried to put it back. The Storm couldn't gather it. It was judged a knock on. It's going to be head and feet to the Saints. Sean Long to feed the scrum. So once again the Storm infringing at the scrum. Saints take a quick tap, try to move it away, just outside their own 20-metre area. Solid running by the Saints, but this tight defence. Perellini on now for Julian O'Neill as Sean Long tries to set the Saints off on the far side. Substitutes thick and fast from both sides. Ellery Hanley ringing the changes now. It's Perellini, the Terminator, just short of the halfway line. Last tackle of this sequence. Saints move it inside to Tommy Martin. Reverse angle kick, puts it up the middle. Taken by Robbie Ross, just tips it up and comes away with it. Tackle completed on that far side. But the Storm drive it away quickly. I think the Aussies far quicker at the play the ball. When you watch the Australian game, obviously far quicker at the play the ball than the English counterparts. And maybe this is what's catching the Saints out. And they've got to get in there, get 2 and 3 men in at the tackle on these powerful Aussies. They unload it quickly. Kim Hawley again, slips the ball out. He's the leader, Kim Hawley, slips it to Marquette. It's put in the air. It's out after bouncing infield, an awkward ball. Aitchison let it bounce, didn't go for it on the full. And Marcus Bye just had to watch as well as it went into touch. Robbie Kearns urging his side on there, and Saints head and feed at the scrum. But 10 metres from their own line. Chris Smith bounces off the first one. Not the biggest in stature, Chris Smith, but he's all heart, isn't he? My word. Chris Joint to Newlove. Can the big man get away? Slips it to Sean Hoppy. Lovely ball from Newlove to Hoppy. He's taken down 5 metres short of the halfway line. Saints now, can they get a roll on? Not the best of passes, but picked up well. Saints keep it alive. Aitchison gets it. It did go back. The referee intimates that way. As Sean Long sees the gap. Oh, just ankle tapped. What a run by Long. He split the defence open, then forced down there on the last tackle. The Saints spectators are not happy. Tommy Martin puts it crossfield. Marcus Bye under pressure. Was the ball knocked forward? The referee says it was knocked back. Pressure there by the Saints, and it's pressure that they've got to put on the opposition. Marcus Bye, the Papua New Guinea winger. The Saints spectators now get behind him. 25 minutes of the game gone, 10 points to 2 in favour of the Antipodeans. the southern hemisphere, Melbourne Storm, and that ball wasn't played correctly, and the referee says there was a hand in there by Paolo Perolini. Storm have a penalty. We know what happened the last time the Storm got a penalty in a similar position. After they drove the ball upfield, they came away with a good set of 6, run the Saints ragged and scored the 4-pointer. And Saints will have to make sure it doesn't happen this time. Storm in possession. Leading by 8. 10 points to 2 the score. Good running by the Storm. Oh, Kimor, was it? Oh, Robbie Ross. Super tackle there by the Saints and forced the ball from Robbie Ross's hand. In the tackle. Just after the Storm again. They're certainly a high speed, powerful outfit. Stewart, one of the subs, obviously Perolini used, Tuilangi, John Stankovic, yes, yet to be used. And Ellery Hanley giving John Stankovic his chance in front of Edmondson, Price, Hall and Tim Yonkers. Long, well, the ball well taken in by Sculthorpe. Tuilangi attacked in half. Took it in well there, did Paul Sculthorpe. Long puts the kick downfield. Ross again. Well, he does gather it. I thought he was just going to bounce away from him. Saints are going to meet him. Slips it to Marcus Bai. Out to Tony Martin. Martin taken down, but enterprising play by the Storm. They like bringing it on this short side, don't they? And it's paid dividends for them. Kimorley through the gap. Nobody with him. Bowden and Kimorley work well there, and we know that he can do the business. This lively half-back Brett Kimorley. Bowden and Kimorley again, fit to the captain Kearns. There's the ball knocked forward, yes, the referee's giving it another 6. Oh, and the Storm driving through. Brad Watts within a whisker of scoring again. And another set of 6. They must be over here, the Storm. The Saints keep them out. Oh, super tackling by the Saints. Right in the face of adversity. Look to try all the way there. Kimorley changes the point of attack. Bowden slips it up. Saints said thank you very much. I think it's Chris Joynt that comes up with it. Now it's Perolini that drives it away. Great defensive display by the Saints there. Chris Smith looking for that gap. Plays it quickly. Saints drive it up. Lovely running from Paul Wellens. The Storm offside. The Saints allowed to play on. Good driving run by Sculthorpe. Now the Saints are on a roll. It's the last one of the set of 6. They've an overlap on the left. If they can get it. Aitchison chasing up. The Storm have it. It's Watts again on the run. Good tackling there. Super stuff. The game just coming alive now on the half hour. Ten points to 2 the score in favour of the Melbourne Storm, the ARL champions. Kimorley. Kimorley again. Now the Storm keeping it going. They bring it centre field. The tackling there dropping off. It's the captain, Robbie Kearns. 25 metres from the Saints line, and the stretch, the Saints again. Bowden to Martin. Martin to Bai. Well, that was forward. Dear me. Well, he's pointed to the spot. And that was forward, my word. Another forward pass, and the Aussies are in for the try on the half hour. You could hear that the Saints spectators weren't happy with it. I can tell you I wasn't happy with it either, but it'll not make any difference. The 4 points given, there they are on the big screen as they're looking at it again. And the referee can look at it, but he'll take no notice. He's given his decision, that he's pointed to the try. There you go. If that wasn't forward, I'll eat my cap. But it's on the board, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can watch it again and watch it again, and we still come up with the same decision. It probably looks even worse after you've watched it a couple of times. But Watts now looking to tag the extras on. Saints not over the whitewash. Just that one penalty goal from Sean Long. So Watts now, who's got quite a turn of pace on him, hasn't he? As we looked earlier on when he nearly scores in, just inches from the line, tees it up well, and that's going over to the right. Waved away, 14 points to 2 to the Storm. Stuart Cummins, one of our top whistlers. In fact, he was in charge for the grand final, Saints and Bradford. They should work as a unit, I think, with the touch judges as well, obviously, to pick up things like that. But it wasn't, and we've got to get on with it. Brian Henare up the touchline, looking though he's going to be reintroduced. 7 minutes to the interval. Well, that ball not played correctly, and the referee says play on. The Storm well in command, we can say, at 14 points to 2. They've certainly looked good value. The Saints just not been able to get into stride. Limited scoring chances. Robbie Ross to Kimali. Kimali chips it through. Aitchison will have to come for it, and he does. Takes it well, does the big man. Saints quickly up. Chris Joint trying to get away. Smith to Tuilangi. And the Western Samoan there, slightly impeded as Paul Sculthorpe takes it just short, well, 8 metres short of the halfway. Sean Long. So an area on for Nickel. The Storm have the possession. Swain had got them going. Oh, and the Storm backing up there. Robbie Ross looking for that little short pass, but obviously a good clamp tackle by the Saints. Tuilangi and Perolini bring him down. 15 metres short of the line now, 10 metres short. Tony Martin will step up at acting half. It's the last one of the sequence for the Storm. Kim Hawley puts it crossfield. Sean Hoppy's underneath it. Sean Hoppy well, was it a knock-on? It was a knock-on in goal. It looked as though it come off Sean Hoppy, even though I think it was Newlove that came up with it. Yes, I would say that was a knock-on there, looking at the replay, and Paul Newlove came away with it. As I was saying before, Stuart Cummins, one of the top whistlers. But as you always seem that when we've had test teams over here and we've had English referees, and they always seem to bend over backwards to the opposition, unlike the Australian referees when our English counterparts go over there. But that's just my unbiased opinion anyway. The Storm keep it going. Richard Swain trying to drop the ball off. That was knocked forward. Dear me, come on Mr Cummins, give us a fair crack. The Storm keeping it going. Russell Bowden took it well, slipped it on well. Matt Ruwer picks it up. 10 metres from the Saints line, the Storm pressing again. Kim Hawley with a twist after he'd been fed by Scott Hill. He knocked it forward. Mr Cummins gives the head and feet to the Saints for the knock-on. But the Storm again, very, very quick at the play of the ball. Well, I don't know what sort of a signal that is, whether it's a blood bin substitution, I think it is. Yes, it's a blood bin substitution for the Storm. Still waiting for a player to come on. It's number 14, Danny Williams.
Substitution for Melbourne Storm. Number 14, Danny Williams, replaces number 11, Paul Moffat.
Williams on for Marquette. A blood bin substitution. Your PA man, Kieran Pickavance, a former Saints player, just giving us all the gen, trying to keep us up with it and doing a good job as well. Saints have the possession, hint of a slight flop there. But Hoppy brings the ball away. The Storm defence has been magnificent this evening. Tuilangi again. Strong runner, can't break this defence. Brian Henari now tries to gather yardage. Martin and Swain bring him to a halt. Martin to Long. Long puts it upfield, but right down the throat of Robbie Ross. And he's some player, this Ross, isn't he? He's impressed me this evening. Obviously, Kim Hawley's been running the show midfield. They've just turned the ball at will, and Watts there, away out of the blocks very quickly. 2 minutes to the interval. Saints penalised again. Allegedly holding down at the tackle. And obviously, when you're a partisan like myself, you're not winning a lot of friends, are they, with the referee? But good handling there. Danny Williams just on, slipped it out. Now Watts just brought down short. Bowden with the ball. 5 metres short. Saints defence going to be tested. Solid tackling, and it's got to be, hasn't it? Can ill afford the Storm scoring another try here just before the interval. Scott Hill. Hill going, oh, easy. Scott Hill, no problem. Kim Hawley, the man that engineered the try. And Scott Hill going over right under the sticks. That's another 6 points to the Storm. And there's going to be some tough talking at the half-time interval, isn't there? The Storm far quicker at the play of the ball. They move the ball quicker. The tackling, I think, has been far superior to the Saints this evening. The Saints just not been able to up that gear that's going to be needed to overcome the Storm. 20 points to 2 it's going to be when Watts pops this one over, and it's just about my distance there. But approaching half-time, maybe not time to actually kick off after this this conversion to the Hill try. But it all the time in the world. The Storm played it quickly. It came over. Kim Hawley again, and then Kimali turned it back in. Scott Hill, diagonal run, and no problem. There's the half-time hooter, and it's been all storm in the first half, hasn't it? A 4th minute try from Moole, unconverted. Then Evans with a good try. Goal by Watts. The Storm 10-0 up. Long with a penalty goal after he'd come perilously close. The Saints have come perilously close to scoring after a high tackle on Tuilangi. The referee allowed play to go on and then gave the penalty. That brought the Saints into it at 10 points to 2. But 2 tries in 9 minutes from Marcus Bye and Scott Hill. The latter converted by Watts. Half-time here at the JJB in the World Club Challenge. Saints 2, Melbourne Storm 20. The Melbourne Storm back on the pitch first. They lead the Saints by 20 points to 2 at half-time. And as unlike in the grand final, the ARL grand final, the Storm won by 20 points to 18. They trailed for more or less 60 minutes and then came through, and a late penalty try from Craig Smith, and they can't find a place for Craig Smith in the quarter at the Melbourne Storm. But that was after a high Jamie Ainscourt tackle. As I said, 20 points to 18 they won. And we know the Saints defeated the Bradford Bulls by 8 points to 6. A record crowd at Old Trafford, 50,717. What about at the Stadium Australia for the Storm against St George? 107,588. Magnificent. But we're here at the JJB. It's imperative that the Saints get back on track, and they need to be first on the scoreboard. But the Aussies, as I say, far quicker at the play the ball and moving away from the acting half-back marker. The Saints' defence has been tested. They're keeping the ball alive now. It's Aitchison. Some good contests. Obviously, we know we've had various substitutions, but I said Long and Kimorley, a good contest. Hoppe gives the ball back there. Tommy Martin forced into touch. Good tackling by the Storm, but good display by the Saints, with Martin and Hoppe into passing there, but right on the halfway line. Martin forced into touch. As I say, Long and Kimorley, a good battle. Joint and Kearney, Iro and Martin. Iro's gone off early. The big man must have took a knock. Rewer and Sculthorpe, Kearns and O'Neill. Head and feed to the Storm. Kimorley. Over on the far side, the Storm in possession. Running it well. The Saints have Sonny Nicol back on the field now.
We have a message from John Turner. John Turner, coming forward now, personally, please.
Storm bursting through. The referee giving Saints a penalty. One of the Storm players taking a Saints player out. Kimorley, is it arguing the toss? Is it Robbie Ross? It's Kimorley arguing the toss. Robbie Ross is just in front of me. But Saints have the penalty. Well, there we go. Perolini. Ellery Hanley will have no doubt rallied his troops at half-time. Let's hope the words of wisdom from the master tactician will prove good. As Chris Smith unloads it to Aitchison. In turn to Perolini. Big hit there, looking for support. Newlove's with him. Newlove unloads it. Saints in a little bunch there. He needs spreading. Martin with a lovely turn of hand to Tuilangi. He spreads it now to Sean Long. The Saints keep it alive. Back to Tuilangi. The Saints spectators get behind them. Saints need to put this ball out, to move it about, to try and catch the Storm off guard. Can the Saints spread it? Martin, inside ball to Henare. He just couldn't squeeze it out of the tackle to Nicol coming up in support. Paul Wellens back to Aitchison. Saints keep it alive. Henare. Long offers the ball. Gives it to Sean Hoppe. Big match player Hoppe backs into the defence. Keeps the ball alive. Newlove will tidy it up. The big man goes on his own. Oh, that's a great tackle. Super tackle by Aaron Moole. Last one of the sequence. Long brings it on the blind side. Reverse angle kick. Robbie Ross has to turn to gather it. Saints come up, but Ross has quite a bit of space. Taken down 10 metres short, centre field. If Saints can get the possession, obviously, and put it together as they did, as Marcus Bai has the possession, taken to earth. The tackling's got to tighten up. Obviously, the defence has got to tighten up and put the ball out. Plenty of hands there involved. But that Melbourne Storm defence hasn't been breached yet. Kimorley out on the full. A rare mistake from the little general. A rare mistake, but it does happen, doesn't it? Head and feet to the Saints, 30 metres out. They need to put some of that spirit in. Again, blindside ploy, Sean Long. Watts brings him down along with Moole. Nickel, big powerhouse forward in the front row this evening. Saints again, they've got to spread it. Martin, Tirilangi, that's solid tackling by the Storm. You can't take it away from them, can you? 5 minutes gone of the second half. Variation of play. Saints have got to keep it running. Henari coming on the burst. No way through for him. Saints going through the repertoire. Blindside again, Sculthorpe. Out to Sean Hoppy. Couldn't think of his name then, dear me. Long chips it through. Oh, unlucky there. Tommy Martin just couldn't get a hand to it. Knocked dead by the Storm player. Come on, you Saints, is the cry now. Sustained pressure on the Storm. And Saints have got to come up with a point first and early. Perolini takes it. 30 metres out, he's brought down. Saints have got to move it quickly and shoots Sonny Nickel. The big man shrugs another tackle off. Finally brought down at the third attempt. Good running display, and the Saints have got to do this. Martin! Class player is Martin. He's pulled down there. Martin's having a go at the player. The referee there has given the Saints the penalty, but no further action taken. The touch judge on, he's going to be put on report, obviously, this player. The Australian, for whatever it was. There's a flop, a bit of gouging and what, I don't know. Martin coming through. And then a little bit of jiggery-pokery in the tackle. Martin wasn't happy. He was having a go at the referee. Saints select to run it. Perolini. Pressure on now, another set of 6. Saints have had the ball in their hands for an enormous amount of time. As Tirilangi pumping the legs, driving for the corner. The big Western Samoan driving in. But look at that for a line out by the Storm. Martin and Long speculating over the top. Back there to Martin again. Drop off ball inside. Stewart. He takes the tackle. I wish you were the Storm only have 13 on. My word, they're covering some ground. Chris Smith offers the ball. Saints are spreading it. The gap emerging. Newlove kicks out of the tackle. Gives it to Hoppy. Hoppy for the corner. What tackling there by the Storm. Brad Watts. Oh, Sean Long puts it. Has he got the ball back, Sean Long? He went for the man, Russell Bowden, I think. Tried to get the ball back off him. Man and ball. It wasn't. It was Dane Morgan that came up with it. But the Storm have weathered that storm of the Saints this time. And they've come away with nothing after all that effort. 8 minutes gone of the second half. Still the score remains at 20 points to 2 for the Melbourne outfit. Kim Hawley puts it downfield. He's had a 40-20. Oh, it certainly is, I think. That could be a 40-20. Well, he's going to the video referee to make sure that was a 40-20. Your video referee tonight is David Campbell, as he was in the grand final for the Saints, Saints and Bradford, along with Stuart Cummins. Reserve ref is Steve Presley, and your fourth official is Carl Kirkpatrick. But referee, video ref David Campbell, the first time he's been asked to do anything this evening. He had some very tight decisions to make in the Super League Grand Final. But it is a 40-20, and it's head and feed to the Storm, and Kim Hawley, the man that's going to feed this scrum. Saints now going to be tested. Robbie Ross slinks up, gives the ball inside. Great tackling, super tackling on that far side by Aitchison. Pulled one out of the top drawer there. But now the defence, the overlap's going to be brought over here. But then once again, super display, super tackling there. Hinari in again. My word, and the Storm forced back. It's Kim Hawley. Short ball there to Daniel Williams. And the Saints soak up the pressure. Russell Bowden. And the try to the Storm after the Saints putting all that pressure on at this end. Coming away with nothing. And 10 minutes gone in the second half. Oh, it's Dane Morgan. I thought it was Russ Bowden, but Dane Morgan with the try. But the Storm come back there. A great defensive display by the Storm up at this end, with the Saints putting pressure on for about 18 tackles. The Storm had to weather the Saints barrage. Then they came away, a lovely kick by Kim Hawley, a 40-20. The referee had to go to the video ref for the confirmation, and then Saints looked as though they had them held, and then Dame Morgan came through, lovely ball, and bounced it down at the back of the sticks. 24 to the Storm, and Watts is going to make it 26 with this. 2 to the Saints. So Watts right in front of the sticks. Shouldn't have any problem. Once again, as I say, it's or as Mick Morgan would say, it's from the lass's tee. Watts with a conversion. 26-2 to the Storm. The Saints needed to score first. They needed to score early. They put the pressure on. The Storm held them, and there was no way through. Martin with a short, high, lofted kick. Saints couldn't take advantage of it. Kearney. Big Stephen Kearney unloads it too well. It was meant for Robbie Ross. Ross couldn't take it, and Saints came up with it. Now they bring it on the short side. Morgan, the try scorer, just replaced. Sean Long goes on a 10-15 metre dart. Welland's attacked in half. Saints now with his set of 6. Need to get over the whitewash. Martin puts the speculator out over there on the far side. It was intercepted by the Storm player, knocked it forward, and just as well. Sculthorpe it was meant for. Saints are pressing. Perolini, the big man, just brought down short. The tackle wasn't effected. He gets up, he has another go again. Pity there wasn't a bit more support for him. Sean Long, Sonny Nickel, but he's lost the possession. It's with Marcus Bye. Saints are going to have to cover up quickly. The Storm are looking to bring, well, that ball Goes to Tony Martin. Must have just shot out. Marquette, Paul Marquette back on, and Williams will be coming off. A blood bin exchange, I think. But it's the Storm that's have the ball. Good ball inside to Marquette, just back on, and that was forward. Dear me. Well, he's only seen about one tonight, the referee, and unfortunately 2 of the Storm tries have come from forward passes. But they are quick, aren't they? They do play the ball quick, and maybe that's what's deceived the referee. Didn't deceive us up here, but... Well taken by Aitchison. Then he takes one for his corner. And Saints again pressing the ball up. 15 minutes gone of the second half. Tuilangi. Long looking for the way through. Bounces off the tacklers. Takes it over there to the right. Awkward ball, but well tidied up this time. Tony Stewart did well. He was coming back inside, and the ball looked as though it had overshot him, but he pulled it back in. Last one of the sequence. Saints take it on the blind side. Robbie Ross brings the ball up. Had a good game tonight as Kim Hawley and Scott Hill. They've run well of the Storm, and it's going to be a mammoth effort by the Saints, obviously, to get back in it, isn't it? At 26 points to 2. Stephen Kearney, big forward, rated as the best second rower in the world, and I wouldn't argue with that. He's a fine forward, is Kearney. Came over here with the junior Kiwis, I think about 80, 83, something like that. And my word, he was outstanding there. Kim Hawley again gets the ball underway. Oh, unlucky there. Newlove just couldn't hold it. That would have been a 4-pointer there if Newlove could have got that. Junior O'Neill going to be brought back on.
Substitution for number 10, Julian O'Neill, replaces number 8, Apollo Bellini.
So Perlini off, O'Neill back on. In this bruising encounter, as the Storm come away with it, Scott Hill. Ross linking up from the full-back position, well clamped. Stewart on the far side, came in, took it well. Nickel involved in the tackle there, along with Julian O'Neill, that's just come back on. Good ball from Kearney, and Scott Ross managed, well, he was ankle tapped, then he managed to get up and slipped the ball out, and a great try by the Storm. Aaron Moole again, I think it is. Super work there by the Storm, took it over well. Kearney, lovely ball onto Robbie Ross, and bounced once, got up at the tackle, slipped it over to his left, and in for the try. The 4-pointer. The Storm bring it up to 30. But Kearney, look at that, lovely play, super second row play. Good ankle tap, the man gets up, flicks the ball up as he goes down again, and well taken there, and probably as Steve O would be saying, nobody within Cooey. Scott Hill it is, Scott Hill. Hill in for his second, brilliant support play. And Evans back on the field for the Storm. And the captain, Kearns, off. So for the conversion, Watts strikes it well, 2 points to the Storm, 32 points to 2, and the World Club Championship going back down under. Saints 2, Melbourne Storm 32. A comprehensive whacking, and we all thought that Saints were definitely in with a chance. The Storm had a match Friday before they flew at Illawarra. They played Brisbane Broncos, got beaten in that game, just that warm-up game, but they've come here, they've trained well. Saints have had a couple of pre-season games, friendly games, but just can't meet and compete with this powerful Australian outfit this evening. Swain taking the ball up, Robbie Ross at dummy half, Kim Hawley puts the speculator out, Hill once again unloads it. Last one of the sequence, Kim Hawley puts it high, Tester, Aitchison underneath it, it's going to go dead. Just lost sight of it, did Paul Aitchison. Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 20. Lavia going to be introduced into the game. The last quarter now, 32-2 the score. Saints playing for pride. They've come perilously close, but just not been able to break that whitewash. Solid tackling, far quicker at the play of the ball of the Storm. Martin chips it for Long, Long takes it well, he chips it again, the chase is on, but Watts takes it, Long completes the tackle. Good interpassing there, a good play, interlinking play between Martin and Long completed the tackle as well. Still on. Tries for a forward pass yet again, going unheeded. Good driving run, Melbourne pressing again. Up the middle, last one of the sequence. Lavia now on the playing area. Kim Hawley chips it downfield. Too much beef on it again, is it? Hoppe has to play it. Taken in the in-goal area. Drop out from between the sticks. Scott Hill has been replaced. So once again, Saints under the cosh. Tommy Martin will drop out from between the sticks. Played well tonight, Martin. Obviously a lot of speculation about, well, all these teams now, the Super League teams, got to have 20 players that turn in over £20,000. They've not got to, but that's the amount, the most they can have, 20 players earning more than £20,000 a year. And with the Saints signing Tricky Trindle, obviously Martin was, there was speculation that he was going to be moving on. If he decided to stop, as he said he was going to stop, they more or less intimated he would have to play his rugby in the Alliance side. So, I don't know, all will be revealed in the course of time. But Saints again, getting stuck in at the tattle. The Storm with Kim Hawley again, running the show. An interception there, Tommy Martin. He needs a speed man with him. Hoppy's there. Hoppy has to come in field. Take it over on the far side. Got to get up now and play it quickly. Holding down to the tackle, Mr. Cummins. All offside the Melbourne Storm as Sean Long takes it through again. Saints with an overlap here as Long goes for the corner. Tony Stewart puts it inside to Chris Smith. Saints have got to keep it alive as Smith goes for the line. Slips it inside to Tuilangi. Tuilangi keeps it going. Aitchison puts it back. Kim Hawley comes up with it, but I think he was offside. The ball's been knocked forward somewhere along the line. A Melbourne Storm player knocked it forward, head and feet to the Saints at the scrum. Interception there with Tommy Martin. Sean Hoppy with him. I thought Hoppy might have been better going up the wing, but he came inside, and then the Saints took it over again. Another half chance of scoring, really. They could do with scoring for pride as Martin offers the ball, gives it to Hoppy again. Hoppy has to take the tackle. The Storm defence holding on. Henare. Good ball there. Sculthorpe. Oh, he's lost it. Dear me. The referee said the ball was knocked forward. Scrum down, head and feed to the Storm. Saints opening the gap, just failing at the last attempt. John Stankovic going to be introduced for the Saints for the last 15 minutes or so. Stripped off, ready for action. Marcus Pye comes away with it. Taken down, Stewart and Aitchison. The Storm keep it alive. Kearney. Over to the left, Kim Hawley again, looking to get things underway. He certainly runs the show as the lively little half-back. And it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't pick up the Man of the Match award tonight as the Storm bursts through. Big gap in the middle, and it's the full-back, Robbie Ross. After good work by Lavia. Well, I think it was Lavia that created the gap, but Robbie Ross touches down under the sticks. 26 minutes gone of the second half, and it's all one-way traffic, isn't it? Super play by the Storm. They brought the ball downfield. The little general dictating again, then the ball coming over. I think it was Lavia that came up with a pass. Just try and look on the big screen now. Yes, Lavia that turns the ball inside to Ross, and no problem for Ross. Touchdown behind the sticks. Watts will convert this. He's impressed me and all tonight, the full-back Robbie Ross, running from deep, linking up at every available opportunity, and certainly looks good. So Watts from right in front again. No problem. 38-2. Just it must be said, just a different class, the Melbourne Storm on this evening's showing. They've come 13,000 miles for this challenge, and they've slapped our bottom in our own back garden, haven't they? Once again the Saints have to kick off. 7 tries without reply by the Storm. No doubting obviously the result, even though early on a couple of the tries were definitely suspect. But the game played at a far more frenetic pace than over here at this side or in the Northern Hemisphere. To the Storm again, Stephen Kearney. Backs into the defence. Brian Henari, one of the tacklers there. Stankovic, Tuilangi, right in at the action, but the general here again, slips it away. Super tackle by Aitchison. Try saver there. And that was on the 6th tackle. The Storm putting on the power play. And Aitchison coming up with a great tackle. Tuilangi just couldn't break through. Now it's still with Saints. It's Stankovic. The tackling has been superb by the Storm tonight. Saints couldn't match him. It's been a lesson. Let's hope it's a lesson that obviously we can do a lot of learning from. We know how Ellery, shrewd tactician. Well, that ball was touched in flight. It's all on. It's now with Marcus Bye. Came back inside. Flying wingman. North in with many chances, the Saints. The Storm have weathered the storm. But now it's Newlove. Can the big man break through? He slips it to Hoppy. He had quite a bit of decent service from Newlove tonight, and long as Hoppy. But he got a crack there. It's Long again, turns it inside. Well taken by Sculthorpe. Martin attacked in half. It's moved to the right, then back to the left. Wellens takes it centre field. A little bit of a flop there. But Sean Long chips it for the corner. Marcus Bye takes it. Took it well, didn't he, with Chris Smith moving in quickly. But the Storm again pegged on their own line. But the kicking game will soon come into play with 9 minutes left. Bowden, the man, bringing it away. Marquette slips it out. Kimorley. Back to Kimorley from Bowden. The Storm keeping it alive. It's lovely, isn't it, when the... obviously not when you're getting whacked by 38 points to 2. But it's lovely watching it. But not being against it. Saints with a penalty. Martin dabs it for the corner. 10 metres short of the Storm line. Can the Saints get over the whitewash? What would be a consolation try. They certainly deserve it. The Storm will want to keep them out. Tuilangi drives it up. 10 metres short. Everybody up there. Aitchison, a dummy half. Chris Smith slips it through to Long. Saints have spread it. Try here. Hoppy into the corner. Nothing more than the Saints deserve. 32 minutes gone of the second half, and Saints with the first try in this World Club Championship. He's had quite a bit of service tonight as Hoppy. He's been unable to convert it, obviously because of the super tackling by the Storm, but on that occasion again, the Storm were penalised. The Saints moved it quick. Long over here to this side, out to big Paul Newlove, and the big man there drew the player, put a speculator out there to Sean Hoppy, and he went in low at the corner. Consolation try, it must be said, after 72 minutes. 38 points to 6. And Sean Long will do well to slot this between the uprights. Just across the face of the posts. Saints 6, Storm 38.
pitch.
So the match announcer, Kieran Pickervance, just letting you know that the trophy will be presented on the pitch after the game to the Melbourne Storm. But Saints there, the consolation try. And here they come again with Stankovic coming for the corner. Across the field, Saints trying to spread it, and losing ground, but Chris Smith round his man. He's got support with him, he turns the ball inside, Saints can still tidy it up. No, they can't, they lose the possession, unlucky there. Tuilangi just couldn't control it. And the tackle count back to 0. Lovely turn of pace there by Chris Smith, but it didn't come off in the end. Bowden's been replaced and Kearns is back on. Oh, and Hill, he's going to be in for his hat-trick, is he? No, turns it inside. Robbie Ross in for his second, and it's easy, isn't it? The Storm running the Saints ragged. The 8th try for the Storm this evening. Well engineered play, turning the ball in and out. Hill coming through the gap. It looked as though he could have scored himself. They got him for his hat-trick, but he turned it back inside to the ever-supporting Robbie Ross. Had a superb game from full-back. And Watts will just pop this one over. 44 points to 6. Oh, beg your pardon. Watts obviously not converting that. Lavia is the man that's converted it. I just presume that Watts would be converting it. Not looking at the numbers and just taking things for granted. Head and feed to the Saints. Can they get another try in the dying minutes? 3 minutes to play. Long from the base of the scrum. Stewart, Newlove again. Turns it back inside. Hoppy did well. Now it's with Stewart again. Saints kept it alive. It's with Stankovic. He turns back. He brings it on the blind side. Martin tries to squeeze it out. He has to take the tackle. Well, the Aussies come up with the ball. There was 2-1 there, surely. But I know it didn't look as though he had complete control of the ball, but the Storm come up with it, and once again they build up. Now they've lost possession, losing a little bit of concentration. Sculthorpe leaves a lovely dummy there, but the Storm cover up. Nickel breaking away from acting halfback. No way through for Tuilangi. Martin attacked in half. Henare. So 13,500 roughly. It's now with Hoppy. Tries to round his man. Couldn't get past Watts. Long, Martin along the line. Is there a way through? Sculthorpe chips it. Chris Smith inside, taken by Nickel. Oh, he couldn't control it. Martin was up there as well, looking for the pass, and just the final handling just going awry. In the last couple of minutes now, head and feed to the Storm. They lead by 44 points to 6. A comprehensive display of powerhouse rugby by the Melbourne Storm. Kearns the captain. Once again, well, the pass looking perilously forward, but it's Marcus By, turns it back inside to Martin. That's going to be forward, as Hill was in there again looking for the hat-trick. But Entrup, well, has the referee let it go? Well, he's going to ask the video referee to have a look at that. I couldn't see any, he must have thought a Saint's hand had touched that ball, because it was definitely knocked forward. But By down the wing, and then Martin involved. And Martin there, well, it looks as though it's coming off Martin's knee for me. Just looking at the big screen. Saints coming in for the tackle. Martin, oh, it's off Martin's knee. That he just lost control of the ball. It went on his knee. That's no try. No try for me, and I'm sure David Campbell will agree with me. So there's, he's having a good look at it again to see if there was a hand on it. Well, he was just ready to pass the ball. He lost control of the ball as the tackle came in. It hit his knee and bounced away. Just wait, obviously the first, well, only the second time David Campbell's been asked. No try, there you go, clear as the nose on your face. Not saying they didn't deserve it. Super play, super wing play by and then Martin, but great tackling by the Saints, and the ball off the knee, and Saints finish with a flourish. Actually playing, well, on my watch of a minute and a bit of stoppage time. The Saints come away again. Newlove back to Sean Hoppy, bounces off the defence. There's about 5 in there around him. Saints trying to play it quickly, the Storm encroaching. Sculthorpe, half through the gap. Saints with the never say die attitude. It's always that about it. They always compete to the end, these sides, even when you get a scoreline like this at 44 points to 6. They're counting down, it's the last action. Hoppy dribbles it through, Marquette takes it. There's the final hooter, and the Melbourne Storm run out as world champions. They defeat the Saints by 44 points to 6. Yes, the Kellogg's World Club champions, the Melbourne Storm. 20 points to 2. They led at half-time. 44-6 at full-time. It was essential that the Saints got first on the scoreboard and an early score. In the second half, they came out with all guns blazing and put a tremendous amount of pressure on the Storm. Couldn't get over the whitewash, and the Storm came away with it, and Morgan got a try. Watts goaled it. That put the Storm a further 6 points ahead. It was very hard to come back from there. Tries from Hill and Ross came on, and then a consolation try from Hoppy 8 minutes from the end to add to the Sean Long penalty goal that we got in the first half, and then Ross finishing off there with a flourish at the end. The try was goal, and 44 points to 6 the final score. Aitchison going round applauding the Saints spectators. obviously come here and expecting better things, but it wasn't to be. We know they always give their all when they're out there on the field, but it just wasn't to be tonight. Iro got a knock early on. We've had injuries, obviously, that players that didn't play tonight, Anthony Sullivan and Kieran Cunningham. It'd have been nice to see Kieran Cunningham out there, with all due respect to his understudy Paul Wellens tonight. They haven't actually named a man of the match as of yet, whether that goes to the press near the end, but Brett Kimmall, he must be in the line for that. He won the Clive Churchill medal in the ARL Grand Final. And obviously Saints didn't get the man of the match in the Grand Final. Henry Paul got that, the Harry Sunderland trophy, even though I thought Sonny Nicol should have walked it. Had a superb game. But there we go. The Melbourne Storm going to be presented with the trophy. World Club Champions in this Kellogg's sponsored match this evening at Wigan. So all the press gathered at the bottom. The trophy there, very resplendent trophy, going to be presented shortly to Robbie Kearns, captain of the winning side, the Melbourne Storm, and well deserved of their 44 points to 6 win. Coach Chris Anderson primed his side. Wily campaign, another one of the quiet. Well, they're nearly always quiet men, these coaches, aren't they? They just get the job done. They go on there, they do the job, but at the end of the day, it's down to the players to actually produce the goods on the day of the match. As Sean Long said earlier on in the week, obviously we go away, we do our match, we prepare well. We've still got to come down, and obviously we just do it on match day. It just wasn't our day today, and that's the end of the story. The Melbourne Storm, far superior, far quicker at the play of the ball, and the Saints just couldn't keep up with them. 4 tries in the first half, 4 in the second, and Saints just with that consolation try late on. Just waiting for the official presentation. We'll have one of the chief executives from the Kellogg's company, who obviously sponsored this evening. Alan Rowley, one of the Saints marketing executives, actually secured the sponsorship with Kellogg's. And Tony the Tiger down there just at the front. And we all remember eating our Frosties, don't we? So Ian Robson taking the podium, Chief Executive of Super League.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and we leave it to him.
Super League, St Helens and Melbourne Storm clubs, thank you for your attendance at this evening's Kellogg's World Club Championship here at the JJB Stadium. I'm joined on stage tonight by Mr Steve Quinnell, Sales Director from Kellogg's, and he will assist me in making the presentations to the winning team, man of the match, and medals to all of the participating players and officials. To start with the man of the match, the unanimous vote, I'm sure, with outstanding team performance. Here's the Australian halfback, here's the Melbourne Storm halfback, the man of the match, the Kellogg's man of the match, number 7, Brett Kimmall.
Well, Brett Kimmall named as the man of the match, and rightly so. He's had an excellent game, hasn't he? He's coming up with the Saints jersey on. They'll have exchanged, a lot of them will have exchanged jerseys as souvenir of this evening's match. But Brett Kimmall, man of the match for this evening's tie. Well played.
As you complete the trophy presentation ceremony, before we call all the players forward to their medals to accept the Kellogg's World Club Championship trophy for the 2000 season, going full forward in his first game as captain of the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, Robbie Kearns, his first game as the captain, as Ian Robson just said. Glenn Lazarus was the captain. He's retired at the end of last season. Kearns named as the captain, and he's there receiving the trophy from the Kellogg's executive. Magnificent trophy. World Club Champions for the 2000 season. So all coming up for the medals, the commemorative medals being called up by Ian Robson. And Saints will just have to wait to get the runners-up commemorative medals. Yes, the Melbourne Storm, Kellogg's World Club Champions 2000 season.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes two teams to make a contest. St Helens were gallant to the end, and they captains of water with all your might. Please now acknowledge their efforts as we call them forward, led by their captain, Sniper, vice captain in the action, St Helens with Chris Joynt, Paul Scunthorpe, followed by fullback Paul Aitchison, on the wing, Chris Smith, Paul Nealon in the centre.
So Chris Joynt can't come up, and Paul Sculthorpe came up to receive the commemorative runners-up medals. So taking a couple of knocks early on, with Iro going off and Joynt going off in the just after the start of the second half, didn't help the Saints' cause. With all the players coming up there for the medals. So Stuart Cummins getting some friendly boos, along with the touch judges there. Very hard to keep up with the play. Obviously it's a high speed body contact sport, as I've said before often, and he did miss a couple of things, but I don't think it made any difference to the end result. But referee Stuart Cummins coming off there, and both teams coming off. The Saints wearing the Melbourne Storm jerseys, and the Storm there resplendent in their Saints tops, which they've exchanged. Winners of the World Club Championship trophy for the year 2000. So I suppose they'll have a few tinnies tonight, a few, well, they don't get middies over here. I presume you still get middies over there, down under. They've come over to the Old Dark and they've slapped the Saints bottom in their own back garden. The final score here at the JJB Stadium: Saints 6, Melbourne Storm 44. And Super League champion, well, I'm saying Super League champions. Saints were Super League champions 1999. The Melbourne Storm were the ARL champions of 1999. But now they're the World Club champions for the year 2000.